Are now live.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the PAB meeting, our special meeting on Monday, June 13th. We only have one agenda item this meeting, and that is going to be to elect a new chair for the Police Accountability Board. We're waiting for one additional member, Dr. Ricky Harvey, to join us, and we'll be with you in a minute.
Okay.
We're not going to take the time to discuss anything else before it appears in the papers.
No, we only have one agenda item. We have our regular meeting on Thursday, where we will have a fuller discussion of everything.
Well, how was that decision made? Who made the decision about the agenda item?
Okay, so that
I just asked a question, Jorah.
Right, I'm just saying, as far as I know, the special committee, we will, once we were informed that we had to, the resignation of the chair, we just knew we had to, as soon as possible, schedule a meeting to elect that new chair. We didn't think it was because the meeting was going to be sudden and without a lot of public notice and not at a regular time, that it should be a regular board meeting, but we did want to get this taken care of.
So there's still a special committee?
Excuse me?
There's still a special committee?
Yes, for the interim period while the investigation is ongoing, that was the agreement that there would be that committee. Yeah. So,
Bob, is it possible for you to speak up a little bit louder? Because I've got my equipment up and you either way away from your mic or speaking much softer than normal.
I'm sorry, Arlene.
Oh.
I'll
well
try
done. Okay.
I'll try to
Right.
project.
All right. And if possible, I don't know, if there's a problem, but if Dr. Harrison and Reverend Harvey can turn on their cameras, that'd be great.
I can't.
Okay, that's fine. I would now entertain nominations from the floor for our chair. Does anybody like to make a nomination?
I nominate Larry Knox for chair.
Anyone like to second that?
Second.
Arlene, thank you. Okay. Other nominations? All right, if there are no others.
I have a question.
Yes.
According to the local law, the vice chair takes the place of the chair in case of inability.
The vice chair has declined taking on the chair at this time. So, and the vice chair, as you can see, is unable to attend tonight's meeting. So for that reason, we are, and actually, if I may add a friendly amendment, there's only 2 weeks left of the prior term for the chair. So in fact, if possible, I would like to to save us doing this again in 2 weeks, I would like to suggest that we elect Larry for the remainder of the existing term and for next year as well. Do you folks feel okay? Who made the nomination?
Sure.
That's not consistent with the law.
I don't know why it isn't. It says that we. Bob,
It specifically specifies when we elect a chair.
Do you want to read that to me?
No.
Okay, so if we, at our next meeting, decide that we have to do it again, we can do it again, but if we don't have to, we don't have to. How does that sound?
Reverend Harvey, you had a comment?
Well, Drew was asking for the law, and actually it's, I don't know where it is, but what I hear Bob saying is exactly what you said, was that in the next, 2 months, did you say 2 months or 2 weeks?
Weeks.
At the end of June.
Okay, in the next 2 weeks, it would be up. So I was just responding to what, you were saying, where is it written? You said it. So he was just repeating what you said.
Matt, if I don't have a problem, just if we just want to do the next 2 weeks, or rather have unanimity.
Fine.
on
That's
we
fine.
just-
We'll just do the next 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks we can have another conversation. That's fine.
That's
Okay.
fine, Bob.
All right. So are people, is there further discussion? Are people ready to take a vote?
Well,
Draw really quick.
It would be helpful if folks like raise their hands for discussion, just so we can.
I'm just-
Harvey? Did you want to say something? Yeah. Reverend Harvey.
I just want to respectfully say, well, first of all, ask, Larry, when did you come to the board?
I was appointed by City Council on the 5th of May.
May, June. So I would just have to say, nothing personal at all. I'm just one who voices my thoughts, and I would have to say, Larry, I have no, I don't know you, so I don't have any personal thing against you, but I could not, in good faith, vote for a person that I don't know, that technically we don't know. You just came to the board, and in what we have done as a board, we have jumped. That's what we have been doing as a board, and some of our reasoning for being in the situation that we're in is we have jumped fast, we moved fast, and fast has not been our friend. Fast has not worked for us. And sometimes I've seemed like the bad guy because I'm constantly saying fast does not work. It has not worked. And so I just wanted to go on record, nothing personal other than the fact that 5 weeks, if that many, on the board is not enough for me to say that I would give you my support as the leader of this board. I would hope that someone else on the board who has been here, served, worked, would step up to be the chair. And I believe in serving. I believe in paying your dues. I'm just being frank. I believe in paying your dues and serving up and not walking into this board and becoming the leader of the board when board members honestly barely know your name. So I just want it on record that there's nothing personal other than, once again, the PAB is jumping to make a quick, fast decision because it seems like we get in these situations, not click, please disregard that word click, but we get in these tights and we make fast decisions. And I would ask the board, once again, slow down. But I can't, a motion is on the floor, a second is on the floor. I can't do anything, but I wanted to, before we voted, I wanted to go on record that for those reasons, I can't support, and I will not support it.
We can take other nominations, Reverend Harvey. So if there's someone else you'd like to nominate, that's fine, including yourself. But so that's fine. But that's, that's part of the process. So I didn't see exactly the order of hands, so I'm gonna call Arlene and then Board Member Brown and then Reverend Nicola.
My question to Reverend Harvey, and I certainly respect your opinion, and I understand how you are viewing this and that we as board members need to slow things down. My concern is that we don't have a chairman, and our vice chair has expressed the fact that she is not able to step up into the position for now. And as we are doing this discussion, what, and I hear slow down, I get it. What's your suggestion we do next? You have to have a chairperson. The vice chair won't step up, is not, and I won't say won't, is unable at this time to step up. I would like to know what your next step or Dr. Harris's next step is. And I think Matthew answers first. And I mean, Matthew had his hand up before you two. So Matthew goes, and then maybe you can answer the question for me.
Okay, thank you. And actually, it's helpful if you put your hands down after you speak if you don't want to be speaking again. Reverend Nicola.
First of all, we all got a copy of the law less than a week ago, and I have it here in front of me at our training Thursday night. And under section 18.6, it does say that the chairperson and vice chairperson shall be elected at the first meeting after July 1st of each year and served until June 30th. So it does seem that the law would say that we just need to do a 2-weeker now, and then after July 1st, do an official vote. So it was under section A there, just to clarify that.
Thanks.
The other thing I'll say is, having been the one who nominated Larry and who's been here since the beginning and seen it, is I think Larry is too professional to mention how experienced he is, both as an organizer and as a organizational leader. I think out of anyone here is probably the best choice and the most effective person. And not having been here through so much stuff, I think is probably a virtue as well, because you can come in with a fresh take after now we're moving out of this crisis era, if you will, into more of the peacetime era and the work era. So I stand by that nomination, and I 100% stand by Larry. And I think it would actually be a breath of fresh air for this board and a really good thing for the agency as well. Larry was here early. Larry has done a lot of hard work in the last month. He probably knows more about this than a lot of the people on this board do who have not put in as much work. So I would just throw out there that I think it's an excellent choice. And I just reiterate that I think that it would be good for this agency and good for this city.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Harrison.
I've known of Larry for quite a while, and I'm comfortable with him being chair, and I support him being chair for the next several weeks. I think that while a short period of time gives me a little bit of an idea of what he's likely to do in the position of chair, and I may or may not change my mind when the next election cycle rolls around. The other thing that I think seems to be characteristic of this board is that I get the feeling that most of this has already been discussed. It just hasn't been discussed in my presence. And I think that we all too often have in the past been subjected to decisions and ideas without a full discussion and a thoughtful discussion of them. And I think that that's the one thing that's missing tonight. It's a slam bam, thank you, ma'am, election, and that is less than we should put forth. Thank you.
Thank you. Reverend Nicola.
So anyone's allowed to raise those questions. Now, Rick, you raised his opinion. You're raising your opinion, Bob, but you weren't willing to necessarily even look up the law that you wanted to invoke. So I would say that if you have stuff to say, it's the time to say it now. But I know how Larry operates because the three of us were in the staff meeting with this afternoon, and I watched how he dealt with the staff. People have been participating and active in work.
What staff
I
meeting?
nominated Larry because of how I've seen him operate.
What staff meeting?
And so I'm sorry, there was a staff meeting this afternoon. It was in your email. It was announced last week. So again, people are aware of these things and are actively pursuing them. And I think the part of probably your discontent is there's ample opportunity to participate and to see people in action. And that's what I want to make my decisions on. And that's how we know one another, not just based on invoking rules that we're not necessarily even willing to go through the sheet to look up and to follow up on. So if you have suggestions, let's hear them and let's have that conversation now instead of having a meta conversation about not having the conversation. That's all we need to do. It can be that simple, but it feels in return, Dr. Harrison, like your tone and your comment isn't.
Matt, don't interpret me.
I'm just saying it feels.
Don't interpret me.
Snap.
Interpret the thing, not me, because you have no idea what I'm thinking.
Okay, well, I would love to have you make some concrete suggestions and of what you'd like to discuss.
Okay, Board Member Brown?
I was waiting for Dr. Harvey, Reverend Dr. Harvey, to answer my question because he did make a very valid point, and I'm sure that he has had an opportunity to give some thought to it and express some of his other suggestions. I'm open.
I have almost forgotten your question, but I think the question was, what do we do since we are here? Something to that nature. Since we are here. One, Danielle is the assistant chair. We have 2 weeks to go. I think in those 2 weeks that we could operate with our assistant chair, I think.
Danielle has stated that she does not want to do it.
I get that. And secondly, I guess I have to respond to you by saying, as I'm listening to Matthew, this and Bob too, and I'm not interpreting, I'm just giving my thought. It's deja vu to me. Matthew just said, I've watched him work, I've seen him operate, I've seen this, I've seen this, I've seen this, I've seen this. Matthew was one of the same ones that said those same things about Connor. I watched him work, I've seen this, I've seen this, I've seen this, and I've seen this. So when we got something that we want to sell, we sell it. And when it's something that we want to sell the other way, as we heard in our most recent meetings, we sell that. I guess I would say I just wanted to go on record that I think it's a bad idea to bring a person into the meeting within 4 to 5 weeks. And there's nobody on the board to say that a person who's been here 4 or 5 weeks has done, to suggest that a person who's been here 4 or 5 weeks has done more than the least board member who's been here from an inception is erroneous. I can't imagine you saying that. But I agree with Bob when he says it sounds like, and it's clear, decisions have been made, votes have been tallied, and you guys know what you're going to do. I just want it on record. I would like to see somebody who has served the board, who has the scars, who has some of the wounds, so to speak, and channel through this process to get us here. I'd like to support the person who's been in the trenches more than, and Larry, please don't take this personal. Please don't take this personal. I'd like to support the person that has helped to dig the trenches for us to get here.
Thank you. I think it was Board Member Knox and then Board Member Brown.
Well, I appreciate the conversation that we're having. I do want to, say, obviously, I wouldn't be on this board if I didn't care deeply about the mission. I've been a supporter of the PAB, even before it came into existence. And once, Shani announced her resignation on Friday, I called everybody, every board member that we have, and asked for their support for chair. And and that was something that happened, not before she resigned, but after she resigned. Knowing that I want this organization to move forward with the mission that we all have. So I'm not going to talk about our conversations, but I did talk to everybody that is a board member, including Danielle, who couldn't make the call today, and asked her thoughts about what we need to do going forward and asked for their support for today.
Okay, Board Member Brown.
Because the work that we have to do, especially in the next week or two, it's I don't see us being able to do it without a chairperson. And I understand that you would like to see someone who helped dig the trenches, who got bloody in battle. Would you like to nominate someone else for this position? Because the floor was open for nominations. And if you have somebody else you want to put up, that is a right also.
So I would respond by saying I did not make any calls. I've not talked to anybody about being the chair. So I don't know who. So I wouldn't want to put somebody on the spot and give them the opportunity to decline. So I've not made any calls or talked to anybody. I wasn't sure we were going to vote tonight. I thought we were going to talk about our path forward. So I wasn't sure. I saw emails, but in my mind, I was saying I can't imagine us voting tonight. Certainly for the newest person on the team, on the board, to be the chair. So I hate to always be the one that's standing in a corner alone, but
No, you don't.
I do like for my voice to be heard. And and please know, when we finish this meeting, I'm going back to what I was doing prior to this. There's no hard feelings, whichever way this goes. There's no hard feelings, but I do want to express. I wanted to express because, frankly, we stay in crunches and we jump fast because we stay in crunches. And so here we are in a crunch again, and here we are.
And the sad thing is, none of the crunches, push, press, or between a rock and a hard place are situations that we have created. These are things that we have been forced to deal with, to respond to. There is no way on God's green earth that less than 2 weeks before the opening of the agency, do we want to be here dealing with getting a new chairperson. That is not what we really wanted to do. Not one member here wanted to do any of that. However, this is the situation we are in. I fully appreciate your stating your case. I appreciate Dr. Bob keeping us on target and making sure that we're doing things by the letter of the law. That's essential. However, I do know at this point, we must move forward. We have to show some stability. We cannot be dipping and bobbing and weaving and second guessing any of this. We have to move forward and do what has to be done. Bite the bullet and let's move forward. And do what has to be done.
All right. Are there other comments people would like to make? Questions people have?
Any other nominations?
All right, if not, I'd like to call the question, call for the vote. All those in favor of selecting Larry as our temporary interim chair, please raise your hand. And Marina, are you gonna take the role here?
Okay, we have Settle in support, Nikoloff in support, Brown in support, Knox in support, Harrison in support, and Dr. Harvey with a vote of nay.
Well, we don't know yet because I haven't asked. All those opposed?
What is it when you don't vote? It's
I was going to call it next.
Abstain.
All those abstaining.
yeah, I'm going to abstain.
Okay, thank you.
The motion carries.
All right, congratulations, Larry.
Thank you. I have a long speech here prepared. No.
Yeah. 20. Yeah.
I do want to say thank you for the support from the board, and I know Dr. Harvey will be talking, if let's get a time tomorrow. So, I want to make sure we all as a board move together, quickly to support the staff and the community. My focus, is helping the board work together better and helping our staff that's been working real hard get ready for investigations, get ready for more policy recommendations, and then get ready for outreach to the community. That's my priority. That's what the community wants as a priority. And that's what I'm here to do to help make happen and work with our allies from the Alliance, from other community groups and City Council and the Mayor's office. So that's my priority. I want to help us do that and work with our allies and especially our staff to help make that happen.
Larry, I want to say welcome aboard. Thank you all so much. I'm a speaker at another meeting that I was supposed to be there at 6:30. I must needs leave, but you all continue. And I will see you again on the other side.
Certainly.
Thank you so much. And actually, that concludes the business of this meeting. We'll have a regular board meeting on Thursday, and we'll look forward to filling in the community on all the stuff that's been happening, all the good things. So thank you.
Good night.
To adjourn.
Yep. Oh, yes. Thank you. See, I'm not used to doing this anymore. Do I have a motion to adjourn? All right. Who all in favor? Don't need a second to adjourn.
Yep.
That's my little.
Just saying aye. Yep.
Yes. Okay. So all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstaining? We're adjourned. Thank you so much.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Let's let Marina take us off line first.